The purpose of having an atomic model is to allow us to examine the number of protons, neutrons, and electrons in a common element. Dalton's atomic theory said that elements consisted of tiny particles called atoms. He said each atom has its own characteristic weight, creating a weight ratio between elements. He stated an element is one of a kind because all atoms of an element are identical, which means atoms that make up the same element have the same mass, and elements are different from each other due to different masses. His model was just a solid sphere without neutrons, protons, or electrons. His atoms were smooth, hard balls that were invisible, which means they were incapable of being divided. This model was a starting point for the next models and the next investigations. Also, it helped understand the basic information of an atom. However, it was wrong because atoms are not invisible. Also, it was missing subatomic information. He discovered an atom can be divided. His discoveries took place in 1903. He said the positive and the negative charges in an atom are equal in magnitude, due to which an atom is electrically neutral. It has no overall negative or positive charge. Thomson's model is commonly compared to a plum pudding because he added the idea of electrons floating in a soup of positive charge. There was still no nucleus in his model. Today, Thomson's discoveries have helped people to have a better understanding of the atom and its generic makeup by the discovery of electrons and its charge. However, he didn't organize electrons, and instead of protons, he had a soup of positive charge. Also, he still didn't have any neutrons or a nucleus.
Rutherford, after the gold foil experiment, falsifies Thomson's model. He describes an atom as a tiny, dense, positive charged core, which has a nucleus, and it is surrounded by electrons. He eventually discovered the proton. Rutherford concluded that an atom had a small, dense, positively charged center that repelled his positively charged bullets. He called the center of the atom the nucleus. The nucleus is tiny compared to the atom as a whole. The structure of Rutherford's atomic model is the nucleus containing protons and neutrons and surrounded by electrons. Even though Rutherford's atomic model presented everything it needed and it was really good, it was kind of hard to understand. This is when Bohr's atomic model came. He suggested that electrons must orbit in special orbits. Also, atoms emit light at certain wavelengths or frequencies, he said. Bohr's atomic model structure contains a nucleus which contains protons and neutrons, and in the orbits it contains electrons. Bohr's atomic model is the one used in present days. It is really common and used because it contains everything it needs and in a simple way to understand.